This show contains adult content. Howdy, folks. Welcome to the 100th episode of Sounds Like Crows. Thanks to everyone that showed up for the live listen and following Q&A. It was a blast. We had a shocking turnout. I know I personally was overwhelmed with y'all's support, and I know the rest of the Crows were too. I'm going to upload that Q&A onto the Patreon feed, so if you missed out, you can find that MacGyvered Q&A audio there. I'd like to do more stuff like that in the future. It was super fun. And a cross-posted announcement from Omen's Call. The Zach Taylor, if you have not done so, please reach out to Omen's Call Pod on Twitter to claim your prize from the getaway. I think you're the last winner that hasn't reached out to us there. You can also reach out to us at soundslikecrows@gmail.com. We still cannot record with the Crowe boys currently. I'm going to do some stuff with Meadow and Hiram in early January on the Patreon feed. We're going to have that Game of Thrones series. Well, it's going to be uploaded there. I'm very excited about that. They'll sort of just be sporadic content for a while we wait for a point where we can record again with all of the Crowe boys. If you want to keep updated, refresh your podcatcher every week. Refresh it every 2 weeks. I don't want to promise a specific release schedule because I'm honestly not sure what we're going to be able to hit. But I'm excited for a lot of the ideas we have, and we'll get them out to you as fast as we do them. You can also follow us at Sounds of Crows. You can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Sounds Like Crows, and join our Discord where we post constant updates. Speaking of Patreon, we have a joint goal between us and the RPG for You and Me folks. We are $50 away on both pages from meeting our next goal, after which me, Doug, and Allie will get together and sort of do a few sessions of stuff with Hiram and Meadow that doesn't really have a place in the main Crows story, but would be fun to do anyway. As soon as we reach that goal, we're going to record that and get that on the Patreon feed for you folks. Speaking of you folks, thanks to Matt Birch, David Hayes, and Prime. Thank you so much. And then, of course, we have to say thank you to Jonathan Turner, Aaron Blackston, Jared, Kyle Neese, Ariel Weiss, Suzanne Hagen, and Greg Gray. Thank you so much. Music on the show was provided by the remarkable James Quinn, the wonderful Rudy Zuniga, the incredible Levi Rojas, and yours truly. Sounds Like Crows uses the Deadlands The Weird West setting and system owned by the Pinnacle Entertainment Group, who you can find at peginc.com. With all that out of the way, welcome back to the Weird West.
Last time on Sounds Like Crows, the Crowe boys have found themselves in the town of Lilac, somewhere in the pines of northern Arizona. Harper and Lucky have set out to Flagstaff to fetch a doctor friend of old Jackson, leaving the other brothers to face the mystery of the aforementioned fellow alone.
Ellis, you're walking through the street of Lilac with Old Man Jackson, second character named Old X. And while he can smell the pine scent on the air, you only smell the scent of delicious rotting horse meat.
So what's this arrangement you have with these horses?
He kind of looks you up and down now that you're away from your brothers, and the smile kind of comes off his face.
I think we have more in common than you think, Ellis. Man came through with a few horses, a bunch of his friends shot dead, and, well, I traded them off him so could keep him here for a while.
A layer of flies is growing more heavily as you round the corner of one of these buildings, and you're greeted with the sight of 4 dead, rotting horses shot in a pile on top of each other. Gallons of blood congealed on the dirt and grass around them, covered in flies.
Hey, Caleb. So, Ellis is with Old Man. Harper and Lucky just left?
Yeah.
All right, Thaddeus did not stay in the saloon.
Where is he now?
He left Abel to do whatever.
Don't leave Abel alone.
Oh, yeah, Thaddeus is leaving Abel for sure.
Yeah, don't give a
What
shit.
a good brother.
Yeah, no, he's totally fine leaving him for right now. It's just a matter of, do you guys want the Ellis thing to be just an Ellis Way Chuge and some other, cannibal type guy seen by themselves. So I was going to have Thaddeus either like sneak and follow them or go check out the car.
I would say have him be sneaking and following. That sounds cool.
So then as he turns and sees that scene, I suppose maybe the camera lingers on the spot before the reveal for him. And I guess thievery is the one for stealth stuff, right?
No, stealth is the thing for stealth stuff.
Yeah, nice try.
That might actually be better for me anyway. Thank you, Alex. I'm glad I didn't have
You
that.
just roll against a 3, or you roll against a 4, but you get a +1 because he's distracted talking to Ellis.
Well, I got a 5 + 1, so that's a 6.
Beautiful.
Well, don't forget your fatigue.
That's a 4.
Oh, okay. Well done.
You're stealthy. With a raise, you'd be able to overhear their conversation, but I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think Thaddeus needs to hear it, but he sees the two of them over there.
So you said you traded for these dead horses?
Yeah, they were alive. The man shot them for me.
What'd you trade for them?
Well, he wanted to know where his husband was.
What's going on here? Exactly.
Well, I just want to make sure you boys aren't going to do nothing stupid. If I tell you what's going on. Your brothers seem mighty liking to kill me. And while I trust Way, I don't know you that well, sir.
Trust Way, huh? What are you?
I'm the mailman.
I'm afraid you're gonna have to elaborate a little bit.
Oh, baby, he always likes to beat around the bush. He just carries messages for us and for you.
Was he a Manitou?
He responds.
Yeah,
I guess I can't hold that against you.
I would hope not, sir.
My brothers will.
I don't think they would rightly understand what's happening here, but
I don't either. What's a Manitou have to benefit from just sitting in a ghost town looking through people's mail?
everybody needs to know things, Ellis.
What kinds of things?
He shrugs.
Everything there is to know is valuable to someone somewhere. You being alive is a mighty juicy nugget to some folks.
You knew things that weren't even in the paper, like Harper's nickname, Daisy. Where do you get your information?
A lot of mail comes through here. Mail of another sort through the hunting grounds. You asked a lot of questions, Ellis, and I'm mighty cooperative, and reason for that is I'd like to know what you boys have been up to. I'd be willing to trade.
Trade what?
He licks his lips.
Information.
What do you have to offer?
I'm sure you want to know something.
Oh, there's lots of things I want to know.
I know just about everyone, Ellis.
Tell you what, let me think on it. We've got a long night.
He nods.
Dig in, I guess.
He chuckles.
Never eaten horse before.
It's damn good.
Guess there's a first time for everything, though.
He leans against the building, and we cut to Thaddeus. What does Thaddeus see?
Ellis takes out a Bowie knife, cuts off a nice clean piece from... Ellis doesn't know anything about butchery, so he's just gonna cut off a big piece of its, like a thick part of its hind leg. And then I think that I'm just gonna eat it right there. Just eat it raw.
Way joins you in spirit, sort of like leaning over the body and mimicking your motions as you put it into your mouth so he can feel the sensation of it sliding down your throat.
As I eat, roughly a pound of this horse.
Yeah.
Sure.
As you're now required to.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that the scent goes away and that hunger kind of feels sated.
That's cool.
Well, I mean, Thaddeus sort of looked on in horror for a little bit, but it wasn't too long after he pulled out the Bowie knife and took maybe a couple bites before Thaddeus sort of turns his back to the scene, and we sort of see his face in the camera, and he just looks a little sick to his stomach and very concerned. He pulls his hat off and just sort of holds his head in his hands.
A few flies leave your hat as you take it off, and we cut. I assume, yeah. I don't know where to cut to, but
We said that Thaddeus was not close enough to hear,
yeah.
Right, yeah, I'm like,
so he didn't hear any of that shit.
I didn't hear the conversation. I just saw the two of them
that's a big
talking
deal.
and like
Yeah.
and horse corpses, right? But the dude took him over there and was like, "Here, you want some horse meat?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we
Eat a
also
horse.
know fucking Ellis, and that's not that abnormal.
Fucking weird for a stranger to just offer him a horse meat.
Sure,
That's not something normal strangers do.
Thaddeus is
Sure.
paranoid too.
He is paranoid as fuck. That is some problematic stuff going on over there.
I would imagine that maybe a leap of logic would be that this guy's a Harrowed.
I don't think it would be a hard jump at all. Yeah, he's had experience with two of them now. And, well, it seems like some shit.
So
Yeah.
should I ask
3 of
where
them, shit.
Abel's brothers are? Is that what we're getting at here? Or
If you want to.
You can ask anything you want, dog.
okay,
I
I mean
thought-
that would be a good way to get to that
Well,
point, right?
Aelin's
Yeah.
brothers are across the street from you and somewhere between 0 and 20 miles away.
Harper and Lucky are sweaty on the proverbial road towards Flagstaff. Maybe you've made it out of the pine and now you're just on fucking plains with the Arizona sun beating down on you. 90-degree heat, hats fanning, necks being sunburnt. But it's kind of nice in a way to be back in familiar territory. It occurs to you, Lucky, that you've never been here, but maybe Harper has been here. You don't really, I don't know. Do you know much about his bounty hunting time?
Nah, probably not. Probably doesn't ask too much about it. Probably a weird topic to bring up.
You ever kill anybody?
Yeah, probably not
Yeah.
something he brings up very
Yeah.
often.
That was his confession, though, right, to the judge?
Yes, he was a murderer.
Yeah. So you know a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so. He's not gonna fucking open that wound right now, especially right now.
Yeah, that'd be a good time for that, man. Hey, so you remember how you told me about that time you murdered somebody?
Lucky kind of takes his hat off and rubs the sweat from his brow. There's a weird fucking old guy back there, ain't it, Daisy?
Well, whatever it was, it weren't right. Ain't no sane person just glues a bunch of fucking newspaper all over every wall in town.
Hell, shit, man. Maybe he's just a big fan.
Harper kind of looks over at Al.
Way back there.
Solid.
I mean,
way
that
back
horse
there.
back there. I
Yeah.
mean, the horse.
Harper kind of looks over at Lucky with that kind of a questioning look. Ain't nobody's just that much of a fan, Lucky. You've seen enough shit to know that when something goes that weird, it ain't nothing good.
Yeah, suppose you're probably right. How else would you want to solve that, though?
You know, don't matter, does it? They're gonna figure it out one way or another.
Well, he got Ellis. I mean, seems that fucker can punch his way out of anything, really.
Or rip or tear or whatever the hell he wants these days.
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you about that. What's your opinion on good old way?
Harper kind of stops walking for a second and reaches up and takes his hat off and kind of rubs the sweat out of his eyes. I don't think it matters. I don't think he matters. He's either Ellis or he ain't, you know? He's our brother. Don't matter if he's got a fucking whatever. It don't matter. We're gonna take care of him just the same.
Sure. Can't let him be eating people, though.
We sure as hell can't stop him. Harper starts walking again.
Yeah, I suppose not. We should try, though, shouldn't we?
Sure, if you want to get your fucking head punched off.
I ain't talking that way. I feel like I just got this gut feeling that there's got to be something we can do to get them back to normal, right? Maybe get rid of Way.
It never works that way.
I just think there's a long pause in the conversation. I think we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, well, he did say just to follow that road until it ends and try to follow the game trails, and that's what we've been doing.
May it look like the right way. You're the expert on this shit.
We'll get ourselves on a hill, and I'll see if I can see anything from there.
Thaddeus, do you want to investigate this town at all? You just following them back? You want to
No.
hunch the horse meat?
After he sees that scene with Ellis and this guy, I think he wants to check out some of the other buildings in town. And if he recalls which direction they had mentioned that there was some sort of ghost rock machine out here, he'll sort of investigate in that direction.
Why don't you make a notice roll for me?
I'm great at these guys. I got a D4.
Yeah.
That's really good.
-3 or -2.
Yep.
Yeah, he gets it.
Yeah.
He knows
It's almost
what's
like
up.
I'm untrained, but you know,
It's permanent.
it's a 1, Caleb.
Do you want to Benny it?
Well, I haven't gotten a penny in a while, and I really wouldn't like to.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been
Get
bad
shot.
at handing them out this session / this campaign, but
How many rolls do you think Marshall can fail tonight?
Yeah, that's the real question. I was going to be like, listen, Caleb, Thaddeus is curious and paranoid. He's not going to hang out with Abel, and Ellis is eating horses, so he's going to keep himself busy, kind of just
I ate a
roaming
little
around.
bit of horse, dude.
So I will roll and fail as many as you want to give me.
I'm glad that you succeeded
Gotta
the
keep
important
trying.
ones. That's what
Well,
matters.
here's the thing.
I succeeded the ones that keep me alive, and
Yeah.
fail at all the ones was to help us.
You're trying to find the ghost rock powered wagon, but that doesn't mean you don't find something else, right?
Yeah, he heard that the general store has paper up on it. He knows the saloon does. So he wants to see if there are other buildings like that or if there are a building that isn't like that. And also, whichever direction the car was in, he's heading that.
How about you do not find the car because you don't actually go inside buildings, right? You just are peeking through windows and stuff.
I think, yeah, I'm peeking through windows.
And since you failed, the last building you check is the building that does not have anything on the walls. And if you want to go inside that building, you can.
Well, when I get to this building, right, can I tell like what its use was for before it was emptied out and abandoned?
Yeah. I mean, it was probably Pony Express station. So it's got like multiple poles out front for tying up horses, water troughs that have dried up. The only door that looks in any repair, maybe like the paint on the front of the building is actually like been done recently in like a baby blue. And if you peek through the window, you can see stacks and stacks of like old milk crates filled to the brim with paper materials.
Well, I think we'll give Thaddeus a sort of a narrative look around, and I'll take the fail. I'm not going to try to notice for anything, but he's going to look around, make sure that he's not really being followed. He's pretty confident he left everybody pretty far behind, and then I think he'll try at the door.
It's unlocked. He doesn't really have any reason to keep anything locked in this town. You push in. It's the only building not covered in a layer of dust as you walk in, greeted by the lobby that maybe people like an old telegraph office would come in and put in their letters and pay for. But it is just filled with stacks of these old wooden milk crates with slats in them. Some of them filled with newspapers, others with letters. This is a lot of material. You've never seen this much paper outside of a library together at one time before. And you sort of walk into the back area where they'd sort things, and out on a bunch of desks is just organized in some fashion, different newspapers and letters and textbooks just all over the place. He's got multiple stations set up, pens, pencils, various letters that are in being written, kind of bat away a few flies as you walk in.
Yeah, he bats them away and sort of thinks to himself,
Here's a lot of upkeep for one man, and I ain't seen or heard nobody else around. Well, this is fucking weird.
He's going to go over to one of the stations that has an inkwell. And, well, Caleb, we're going to spend another 2 PowerPoints. I'm going to go ahead and try to cast Hunch.
Godspeed.
You can do it. We believe in you.
Hunch that shit.
10 in this.
Okay.
You can do this.
I believe.
Oh my
Took
God.
A 7, right?
Wow.
Hey, well done.
Wow, you made a roll?
You
That's
are
a 7.
very
I'm
good.
proud of you.
That's a
I'm so
5,
proud of you.
Caleb. That's a 5.
Wow. For a hunch, you get 20 years of history for object reading?
Object reading, yeah. Anything within, I think it's 10 yards from me and up to 5 years.
I hope what we see is just like a man bringing it in a box, drops it off here. The guy picks it up and uses it to write letters.
That'd be great, right? I can see in the past of an inanimate object, discovering who held it, where it's been, and what it might have been used for. It has no sentience. Caster simply sees and hears visions of the past that took place in its presence, except I don't hear anything because I didn't pay for that modifier.
Cool.
An inkwell?
An inkwell.
Okay.
Caleb's racking his brain over here. How can I make this significant?
Hey, dude. Why didn't you do the cleaver?
I didn't succeed on the cleaver.
Why didn't you get the goddamn cleaver?
The dice, they have a will of their own. They decided inkwell is what Caleb has to work on.
You see like a time lapse of newspaper after newspaper on the left side of this workstation. I'm imagining a roll-top desk with hundreds of little cubbies in it. You see the old man sit down, look at the newspaper, kind of run his fingers over lines, and then, I mean, you're not sure exactly what he's writing, but sending out multiple letters, licking, writing another letter, licking an envelope closed, writing another letter, licking it closed, and then moving on to another newspaper with another date and doing the same thing over and over again. He steps up and walks away. You can see on the paper like ink is being drawn over it without him there. Just lines and lines of text moving by. And the whole time like flies buzzing everywhere until finally like the last shot is like a fly crawling out of the inkwell, crawling down the side of the silver and crawling over the paper. Its wings like brush strokes pouring text on the paper, ink to canvas. And as you come back to the present, you can see like a fly is stuck in the ink at the bottom of the well.
Oh, fuck. We gotta get out of here. And then Thaddeus sort of, wishes that Harper and Daisy were back, or Harper and Daisy.
Both of it.
Thaddeus,
Dual personalities.
Both of them.
Yeah, Thaddeus
Oh my
is
God.
at this point just hoping that
You're onto something on that
Lucky
one.
and Harper are close. Yeah, Daisy and Harper are out here.
They're two different people.
Yeah, we've
Inside.
got Harper. We need to get Daisy back, man. It's been too long without him.
Daisy's dead.
Do you want to make a notice roll in this room for me?
Well, I mean, I'll roll a notice, but
You won't succeed
we'll
in
see
that.
if I can make one.
I
Right?
believe in you. You can blow it up. You haven't blown up anything yet.
I'm going to give you a +2 to make this flat, just because these papers are out and they're recent. Nope. Two.
What,
Yeah, I mean, obviously this guy's a collector. Everything back here is just meticulously put together. I don't think anything like stands out, unless if you want to spend a large amount of time here, you could. But I mean,
No, I think he gets the realization from that hunch, knows that he needs to get the hell out of here, and I think he's going to go looking for the car. If he can find the car, then he might go get Ellis. But for now, I think the shot is he realizes after the object reading what's going on, says his piece, and then we see him sort of dash out of the building. That's probably why he failed his notice, and looks both ways to try to recall which way the car was.
You gonna lie to your brothers, or?
I don't think that'll be necessary. So, how do you know my partner anyways?
Way shoots you a dirty glance.
Well, he's one of the older fellers I know. He was around the hunting grounds a long time before he picked a partner, as you call it. Everyone I sent him, every candidate he wasn't a fan of, said he was looking for something else. I guess he found it in you when I sent him your information.
You sent him my information?
Well, baby, it wasn't like that. I picked you because you had such a fighting spirit.
That's right. We'd been watching you for a while. Well, not me.
So you're just some sort of matchmaker for Manitou?
Sure, Alice.
Well, about this information trade that you mentioned earlier. How's about we go on in this saloon here, and we sit down with my brothers, and maybe we'll be able to make a deal.
I hope that it will not come to violence.
Now, before, you did mention you had a little bit more liquor around here.
Oh, yeah. If you all stay the night, I can scrounge it up for you. It's just in one of the older buildings in town.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm sure we can work a deal out.
I guess they just walk in the saloon. They've come to the door at this
Yeah,
point.
walk through the swingy doors.
Abel looks up from his seat at the table. He was kind of slumped over, and he shoves himself up and kind of shakes a little bit to bring himself back to consciousness as he eyes the approaching figures.
Where the hell's Thaddeus?
Abel shrugs.
He lit out after you left.
I guess it was a pretty bad idea to leave the two of you alone anyways.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been to anyone's benefit, Ellis.
I think Ellis just walks over to the table and pulls out a chair, sits down.
Find what you were looking for?
Yeah, it wasn't so bad. So, as you might have gathered, our friend here is a little off.
You don't say.
But, he might have some information for us that could be helpful, but we'd have to trade for it.
Well, have a seat, friend. And Abel reaches over and with one boot just kicks a chair out from the table out for him to sit down.
He catches it deftly with a foot, with a smile, and then sits down, very slowly lowers himself, and then sort of collapses into the chair with an oof.
So old Jackson here, he's a broker of information, and he knows a lot more than you would think.
Meaning what?
We can ask him anything we want, essentially.
I keep correspondence with a lot of people, Abel, and
I can cut the shit around my brother.
what's my wife's name? Annabelle Hayes.
Abel takes a deep breath and lets his head hang back for a second before pulling it up with visible effort.
I know you married too young, got 2 kids.
Now you can stop there.
You might know where they are, Abel.
Are they alive?
Well, I think you boys know that already, don't you?
We don't. We genuinely don't.
Well, I would also like a bit of information. Is Tabitha Raines alive?
Yes.
I doubt it.
Oh? Abel looks over at him.
I mean,
As I recall, she was scurrying underground like a mole when we left.
Let's have you make a persuasion roll, Abel.
Am I totally wrong? I remember her being alive.
No, she got shot
she's
off
dead.
a cliff.
She's dead as fuck.
Yeah, no lucky shit ever.
she's dead as fuck.
She got pumped full of lead and knocked off a fucking 500-foot drop into the ocean.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, unfortunately, I blew up into an 11 minus 3, 8.
He got a 12.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well,
All
do you want
right, I
to
don't
redo
like
that?
this
Did you
guy's
genuinely
stats,
think
dude.
that?
Yeah, if you don't want to lie, you
Did you
don't.
I
genuinely
genuinely thought she was alive. Yeah, he's not trying to lie.
Okay, so we should redo that.
Hit me again.
Is Tabitha Raines alive?
No.
We can keep our rolls, I think. He nods, believing you.
Your children are alive.
Do you know where they are?
I do.
What's that cost?
Well, now we get into the meat of it, don't we? I'm not sure there's any information you'd prefer to have over that, is there? That's sort of the kicker, as it were.
I can think of one thing.
What would that be?
Is Hiram Crowe still?
Abel unslings that shotgun from his hip and slaps it down on the table, aimed at Old Man Jackson. Would this kill you?
Well, kind of be showing my hand, wouldn't it?
I think that already did. Abel makes no effort to remain threatening any further and leans back in the chair, leaving the shotgun unattended on the table.
I would be happy to end your life if that's what you want, Abel.
I don't think that'll be necessary. Now, as Ellis was saying, where are they?
What do you know about Thomas Crane?
Probably not as much as you.
Certainly not, but the information of what you know is just as valuable.
Well, we know he's been ordering hits, using these judges as his own personal firing squad. We know he ordered the experimentation on innocent women and their unborn children.
And most heinous of all, he's responsible for the death of our mother.
Your twins are being held in Fort Frogmouth, here in Arizona. They are alive.
How far is that from here?
About 40 miles south.
Why are you telling us this?
Well, you just paid for it.
Abel looks over at Ellis like, did I miss something?
Trades information for information. We told him a little bit about Crane. He told us what we wanted to know.
Well, shit.
Mm-hmm.
If it's that easy, I got a whole passel of things I seen.
We got a whole lot of shit we want to know, too.
Well, as long as it is something I would like to know, I will be happy to compensate you for it. We're not all bad, Abel.
Slice it how you want. Demon's a demon.
Not any worse than a man.
Some men, that is true, Ellis. Some men.
We skip ahead in the day, and we cut to Harper and Lucky as they arrive at Flagstaff. Like the town you left previously, nestled in a nice pine forest. It's a bustle of activity, and it's very familiar. It feels like Silver Tree. It feels like a town that has not been corrupted by everything you've seen. Kind of fulfills your expectations of what you thought the West was before you left your home. And no one seems to pay you much mind as you come into town, as wagons are rolling, an old lumber mill is working at the side of town. Yeah, what do you guys want to do in Flagstaff?
Well, we definitely need to find a doctor. That's first priority. Do we have money? I can't remember.
Goddamn,
Do
me
we have
neither.
money?
Pretty sure we don't have money.
I had money.
Ellis has a lot of money.
I could have given you guys a little bit before you left. Let me check how much I got.
Because I'm pretty sure I have $0.
Ellis, come on, give me some cash.
I mean, that's literally been every scene with
Yeah,
fucking
it's good.
Lucky. I mean,
I think it's on my other character sheet, but it was pretty substantial. It was like a few $100s. So I
Yeah.
could have given you guys like $100, no problem.
so I guess we'll try and find the nearest doctor, right?
Do you want to have a scene with the doctor?
Not necessarily the doctor.
Cool, let's make a persuasion roll for this doctor here.
Do I get any pluses because we dropped? Actually, does Jackson's name?
He said he knew the doctor.
Yeah. Does he actually know the
yeah,
doctor?
he actually knows the doctor, yeah.
So what's a bonus? What's the bonus for name dropping?
Probably +3 overall, because probably 2 for Jackson name dropping, 1 for he knows who you are.
I got a 3, so hopefully some
So
pluses.
6?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a doctor will agree to come with you for some money and stuff and kind of tells you where the stable is if you want to loan some horses with collateral.
Cool. So is he cool? Just heading that way?
Yeah, he'll join you guys on the way back. Yeah, he doesn't exactly know how to get there. He's never been there. He's only corresponded with the guy. But he's been writing letters to him. He says 12 years he's been writing letters to this guy.
Yeesh. So I guess before we leave the doctor's office, Lucky grabs Harper by the arm real quick. Hey, Harp, before we go, got something to ask you.
What?
I'm going to use the rest of this money to pay for a tombstone for Grace. Are you okay with that?
Harper's jaw tenses up. You can see him mulling it over in his head in that long silent moment. No, I ain't alright with that. We're gonna need that money to put Crane in the ground.
That where your priorities are, partner?
Harper kind of looks over to Lucky, and you can again just see how tired he is. Where else is there, Lucky?
You gonna punch me in the face if I try and do it myself?
He kind of closes his eyes and shakes his head. Do what you gotta do, boy. I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
Gravestone's gonna say, lost, but never forgotten. And then Lucky walks out the door.
Thaddeus, you've scoured the whole town for the car. You haven't found it. You didn't check the old mill, but God, it's a walk. You push your way through the saloon and eye the 2 flies suspiciously that come off the doors as you push through them. And you see your 2 brothers sitting down with old man Jackson sharing some whiskey.
Nice of you to come back, Thaddeus.
Yeah, I just figured, get some air, stretch my legs, make sure nothing's broken.
You want some whiskey?
Oh, hell yeah, I do.
Have a seat.
Pull up a chair.
Yeah, what y'all been up to, huh?
Just talking.
Yeah? Anybody eat lunch yet?
Abel kicks the chair out for Thaddeus as he did for old man Jackson. He tries to do it too hard, like he tries to kick it over, but I think his actual coordination and strength is not quite there, and it ends up being kind of a nice, courteous, gentle boot.
Thaddeus will take a look at it and sort of study Abel's face for a moment. He's going to knock the chair over, and he'll grab a different one and sit down. All right. So, we got decent-sized shot glasses. I'm looking to catch up.
Oh, yeah. Fully stocked back there.
Jackson fills up a glass and slides it towards you.
Yeah, it's a perfect conversation for you to join us in, Thaddeus.
Thaddeus will take a long sip of this whiskey.
He looks up to Ellis.
And where were we?
Well, with your brother here, maybe we should talk about more pertinent things than the hunting grounds.
More pertinent than the hunt? Oh, so he just came out to you about well, you're like him, right? Like my brother?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I thought something was weird.
Yeah, very good, Thaddeus.
Anybody ask
very
him?
Good.
Anybody ask him what's up with the newspapers? Is that just because he likes to read them and post them or something?
He's an information broker.
Oh, okay.
We've got a little information from him already. We know where Abel's kids are, for one.
Okay.
Not all bad, King.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Abel grins.
I said we ain't all bad.
He knows a lot more than you think he would.
All right, then.
Yeah, but don't worry about it, Thaddeus. I'm sure this is the fine path that we were supposed to walk down, and nothing you've ever done has contributed to the fact that I'm sitting here with my guts poured out in the middle of Arizona talking to a fucking dead man.
Which one of us are you referring to there, Abel?
There's just like a cold, dead, uninterested stare in Thaddeus' eyes. Oh, as far as I'm concerned, any trouble you think you have with me started with you in the first place, so you ain't got nothing to do but blame yourself. Now, you're a man that seems to know quite a lot, is that right, Mr. Jackson?
You can call me the mailman.
Now, before you go on asking questions, Thaddeus, you should know there's a price. Information for information.
Well, of course, you're paying a price of way. I've been paying prices for years. I'm sure he ain't nothing the same.
Just thought I'd let you know the stakes.
Now, I suppose I appreciate it. Well, mailman, huh? I'm sort of curious about Thomas Crane. I assume
you knew and y'all have discussed him?
Yeah, I'm curious about him as well. What's he up to?
I think you mentioned something earlier there, mailman. I'm not sure if I caught it wrong or if you misspoke. Did you say country of Arizona?
We sure did.
I keep coming back to that. Nobody's curious?
Oh, I was gonna ask that. Don't you worry.
Now, what do you know about Tommy Knockers?
Just kidding.
Nice, dude.
Look on.
That is what the papers have been saying. Thomas, well, you likely know that he has become governor, correct?
No.
He was kicking off his campaign, I thought. Last us home.
We've been off the trail for a while now.
I'll tell you this on credit, I guess, and we can determine the price afterwards.
Sounds fair.
Sure.
If it's not agreeable, we simply can
Not
stop.
for me.
Very well. You'd like to know about the newly formed nation of Arizona, and what else?
Thomas Crane. What's his agenda?
No, more importantly, who are his, sympathetic rivals? If you are as knowledgeable as you claim to be, I'm sure you understand what I mean.
Well, for that, how goes the Mexican invasion of California?
Talking about Mondragon? See that crash last night?
I may have spotted it.
It's going about like that.
He chuckles.
I don't know about you, Ellis, but I think it's pretty safe to say we've taken at least 2 of his prized vessels out of commission permanently.
I hope so.
Very well. I'll answer your last question first, which is that Thomas Crane's rivals, well, one is now dead by your hand, I imagine, Mrs. Tabitha Raines. She was the most invested in stopping him in his aims. His political rivals have been sated, and the only gang that could rival him in Arizona has also been killed by yours truly.
He points to Ellis and Abel.
I suppose there is one sympathetic party within his midst, although, given the recent circumstances, I'm not sure they could be convinced to join on your side of the fight, so to speak.
I mean, if that information isn't going to be useful, then I suppose I should get a different question then.
I believe
My information had value, but
Fine. I'm not like some of our kind. I'll play it straight. It is possible that you may be able to convince the newly founded head of the Arizona Rangers, Sergeant Ash, to join you in your crusade.
Sergeant Ash, huh?
Thaddeus can't help but crack a smile.
no shit. Ash?
Well, I'm not sure you boys could convince him to join you, but
Hey.
certainly someone could convince him to kill Thomas Crane.
We have a rapport, he and I.
Hey,
He
we're good
laughs.
friends.
And I think Thaddeus, honestly thinks he and Ash, they get along. He came all the way out there to be like, hey, careful with that deck of cards you stole.
Yeah.
And, they're working together. And he made a joke at the thing, and he didn't get shot
That
for
was
it.
a nice gesture.
You're right.
It was a nice, really nice gesture.
You said that Tabitha was one of the only ones standing against his aims. What are his aims? Something tells me that's not all political.
Well, part of that information is what has come to light recently, which I will share with you, and then perhaps we can talk about his motivations further. But since your brother is set on having the price up front,
He looks at Abel.
allow me to deliberate on a question.
He sips whiskey again.
In exchange for his aims, I will simply ask for yours. What do you, the Crowe brothers, plan to do after Thomas is dead?
Well, I don't know if there's one answer to that question. I can tell you what I plan on doing, but I can't speak for my brothers.
I think the information I will give you is more than valuable enough to supply in exchange for all 3 of your aims.
I'm gonna kill the Reckoners.
He kind of looks at you, realizes you're serious.
You know that is not possible, don't you, Ellis?
We'll see about that.
No, Ellis, he's right. Everything I ever heard, this Way can't take that on.
You said anything about Wade taking it on alone?
Well, Ellis,
I'm with you
Sure.
to the end, baby.
We're not gonna jump right into it, but eventually we will kill the Reckoners.
Work up to it. We'll work our way around the states. Maybe start with a few little tasty morsels first.
Mm-hmm.
you know, Ellis, You really worry me sometimes.
Look who's talking.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I can't stop you, son. Shit. Whatever you're gonna do,
Well, what are you gonna do if you think my idea is so stupid? Go back to mining?
Nah, that never was any good.
Settle down and have a couple kids?
Nah. Nah, look, one dumbass tried it and it didn't go well. I ain't looking to pass this on.
Abel's glare could kill.
Not right now, it couldn't.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you know, live my life, play cards.
How can you do that knowing what we know?
Else I've been doing, knowing what I know. This ain't much different.
You just scratched the surface. Now we can see all the way down.
Well, the way I see it, there ain't much I can do about it. 'Cause I barely have a handle on the power that I had access to. And your body literally couldn't handle what you've got. You had to be dead. So, I don't know. I'll just keep doing what I was doing. Maybe keep my head lower next time. Don't take deals with politicians. That's a waste of fucking time. They don't do anything. I'll probably just disappear, honestly, if I could. I was good at it before. I can do it again.
And how about the reluctant gambler?
I suppose. Continue to do what all righteous men must. Fight against the darkness where we can.
You're a righteous man, my foot.
Abel doesn't even bother looking over at Thaddeus. Someone must pick up the fight where it can be picked up.
Well, it sounds like the two of us might be working together then, Abel.
No. No, I don't think so. You think the wickedness lies in the spirits of the beyond. I think it lies within the heart of man.
I'll be fighting both.
Abel shrugs. It's the wickedness of man that brings it upon us. We must punish them first.
You know what? I can't decide. Which one of the two of you is a bigger monster?
Well, me or Abel?
Well, look at you.
Okay.
I saw what you did for lunch.
I ate some horse. What's the big deal?
I saw what you did with Mondragon. You're on a path, and we've talked about it before. I ain't trying to retread, but
Mondragon was a monster.
the thing is, we can understand that. You got a wild animal inside you. You're
Yeah,
holding it
and
on
you've
leash as
got-
best you can.
You've got about
let
100 of
me
them
finish, let me
swirling
finish.
around you, Thaddeus.
Abel,
You've
on
been
the
doing
other
this since
hand-
you were a kid, Thaddeus.
That's right.
Get off your soapbox.
No, I'm not saying I'm any better, but I am saying that one there, with his twisted sense of righteousness and his rules, well, they didn't do anything for him. In fact, following his rules, he inadvertently broke one.
Well, at least he's
Fucked
not
over
just
lives for
planning
20
on going
years.
and hiding in a cave somewhere after this is all said and done.
He'd be better to the world if he did.
I disagree.
Oh, well, then I guess we aren't disputing it.
The path of the coward and the weak, Thaddeus, is the one of selfishness.
If
That's
you're
right.
gonna be making deals with the devil, you may as well make some good out of it.
Daddy sort of thinks about it for a minute.
Or you could gamble and drink and hide in a cave.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know,
always
brother.
an option.
Ain't nothing good ever come from trying to do the right thing for me. I'm just gonna screw it all up.
On that we can agree.
I tried to do right by Mama, come back and honor her. Look where we are. I came along.
Look what we've accomplished.
Yeah, fat lot of good, I suppose, huh?
Yeah. I suppose. Your turn.
He smiles and shuffles over to the door. He reaches out outside where a newspaper has been placed down on the boardwalk, grabs it, and walks back inside to sit down at the table. He holds it in both of his hands as he talks.
Thomas is not unlike yourselves, or at least the picture I had of you before meeting you boys. He cares about his family, which to him is his daughter, and therefore his legacy he's going to leave behind. Shortly after you boys left, well, he got elected as governor, and then, well,
He tosses the newspaper down on the table. The headline, Arizona to secede. Question mark.
the Rangers have been tossed out, formed the newly Arizona Rangers, and well, he did something that I'm not sure we could have dreamed about.
And he shoves the newspaper towards you.
What's this here about Lucky Crow's fall fashion tips? Page.
No, not that. The second page.
You turn it over, and as you read the words Governor Thomas Crane, we cut away to another scene after the boys left for California. We cut to Tombstone, Arizona. Crowds of adoring voters have come to support and cheer at the inauguration of the candidate from the American Party, Thomas Crane. It's a telescopic shot zoomed in over the crowd as we see Crane take his stand behind the podium. Patriotic flags, ribbons, and banners hang everywhere. We cut to a close-up, a canned smile of the politician behind the podium as he reaches for a glass of water. A close-up of his hand reveals his sweaty palms as he takes the glass, takes a sip, and returns it to his spot. A deep breath, a deep exhale as the crowd settles into silence and Crane readies himself to bring to fruition a plan brewed for years, meticulously plotted, obstacles and roadblocks overthrown and overturned to lead him here, the most important speech of his life.
It is with grave worry that I accept the office of governor. This is a time of danger. We may face the greatest threat to our liberty our country has ever seen. Enemies on all sides, and now from within. Isn't it time someone did something? This nation of ours was founded on the idea of free expression, free speech. We are allowed, no, meant to scream at the top of our lungs about injustice. And there is one we are not talking about. How many of you have had investigations? How many of you have had rangers, Texas Rangers, in your town here in Arizona? Raise your hands. No, raise them if you've seen a ranger in your town.
The crowd murmurs in agreement, many of them looking to each other with raised arms.
That's at least half of you. More of you than I can count.
Thomas pounds on the table with conviction.
And why are they there? A strange disappearance. Your neighbors murdered horrifically. And yet those rangers come to cause order, leave without a word. Your communities are being ripped apart because they don't trust you. Isn't it time someone did something? We are attacked on all sides, not by cannons, but by fools. A threat to our democracy and the people's rights that the government has not even found you fit to tell you about. Well, I can tell you, Arizona, with absolute certainty and accepting the burden of proof that those creatures lurking in the shadows, the ones that leave your cows rent apart with not a bite taken out of their hide, I tell you now that those damnable abominations lurk within our great state even now. Isn't it time someone did something? You likely heard the rumors of people turned to wolves at my mansion on the night of the blaze. And while my fellow statesmen are too yellow-livered to tell the truth, I will not run from our enemies, Arizona. Those creatures were as real as you or I. Attacked by Texas Rangers casting hexes. These are facts, but you don't have to trust me. These are verified by scores of witnesses who stand among you even now. So speak up, Arizona, because we are done being cast quietly into our doom.
As those words ring out over the crowd, many of them turn to one another who start to verify the story, small pockets of conversation before they are brought back into the speech of Thomas, his would-be truth given newfound legitimacy.
I will not lead us blindly into the dark. We must stand up and face the truth. When God made Adam and Eve, he gave dominion of every creature in our world to us. And while we may have taken the birds and the fish of the sea, we have not taken these abominations under our domain, and they are killing us from within. And our government is letting them do it. Isn't it time someone did something?
The crowd is beginning to turn, the silent fear of hundreds calmed and given grace.
When one hazards to speak of these dark things, they say it is the talk of fools. And yet, in every court of kings or in the grand meetings of American greats, I have witnessed the hypocrisy, conversations of an ever-growing threat that we can't explain and they can't control. Like you, when I learned this terrible truth, it was hard for me to believe. Until I was staring into the eyes of a monster. Bring them out.
Thomas motions to a nearby building, waving out a collection of uniformed individuals, and in their tow, a chain gang of what Lucky called Franks. Creatures not unlike the Black Regiment, human bodies brought back to life, their well-fitting clothes in sharp contrast to their rotting, deteriorating faces. Bone and black muscle is visible in the Arizona sunshine underneath years of damage rotting in the cells of Thomas Crane. The crowd is shocked, gasps echo throughout those closest, and as they try to push back in the crowd, the more curious push forward, stopping them. But this brief chaos, the restless horses that are the crowd, are wrangled back to calm with the reins of Thomas's voice.
They think we can face the truth, Arizona, that we are too young to step up and fight for our nation like so many have done before us. Well, they are dead wrong, Arizona. Because here we are. When I was a humble politician in Louisiana, I received not one, not two, but dozens of letters of people explaining exactly this, first-hand accounts of the things in the night. I remember with absolute clarity the words of a Texas woman, Betty Gates, addressed to me after her husband and 6-year-old child were ripped from her hands by an abomination. The Texas Ranger that came to her town claimed did not exist. She saw him fight this thing with her very eyes, and yet he refused, like our government refused, to tell us the truth. The end of her letter are the words that will haunt me, Arizona, for the rest of my life. Isn't it time someone did something? Well, Betty Gates is goddamned right, because we, Arizona, are going to do something. We must take these creatures into our domain, a tool to use against the onslaught of savagery, but most of all against those who would lie to us. They have used their Texas Rangers, used them like a tool against democracy. Do you know what happened to Betty Gates, Arizona? She was killed in her bed by a Texas Ranger because they would rather you not know the truth. I refute the power of the Confederacy. Isn't it time we did something?
The crowd erupts. Hats thrown into the air, war cries. A few on the outskirts produce pistols, firing them into the air. The applause is thunderous. It is the sound of fear turned to anger, trepidation to hate, of hopeless folk given power. The unrelenting scream of a sound not uncommon, a silence being broken by revolution. We did it, folks. 100 episodes. We made it. I'm not sure exactly when we'll be back for another episode. We're going to try to release some content every 2 weeks or so. If you want to stay updated on these sporadic releases, you can follow us on Twitter at Sounds of Crows. In early January, we're going to have finally finished up our series of Game of Thrones, Sounds Like Crows. Wow. And that will be available on the Patreon. I'd like to thank the whole cast. We started this like 3 years ago. Thanks to Marshall Sims, who portrayed Thaddeus Crowe. You can find him on Twitter at Mr. Malicious1. Thank you to my brother, Isaac Sunstead, at Abel the Crow on Twitter, who played, Abel. Elijah Lee Crowe, Ellis Crowe. He's on Twitter at Alex Horrell. Luciana Lucky Crowe was played by Cameron Day, who you can find on our Discord server. Little Baby Daisy Crowe was played by Cameron Reed, who you can find at CJReed211 on Twitter. If you have any specific questions about the show, you can email us at soundslikecrows@gmail.com or go to our website to use the contact form. Stay safe, everybody. We will not see you next Monday.